Welcome back for the final presentation. So the question we have is, have you ever wondered how some companies become brands customers can't live without? Do you think it's possible to make price irrelevant? Our next presenter is going to tell us how to do both. John DiJulius consults with some of the best customer service companies in the world. John just isn't telling us how to do it. The first company he started, John Roberts Spa, is a chain of upscale spas and salons in the Cleveland area, rated one of the top 20 salons in America. He's also written 5 best-selling books on customer service. So please join me in welcoming John DiJulius.
You say you want a revolution.
Hello. You guys ready? I got a lot of stuff to share with you in a short amount of time. I'm going to go fast, but I'm going to make it easier for you. Besides they're videotaping this, I'm going to give you every slide. So everyone's worried. Are we in a recession? Are we going into a recession? Are we in a recession? Well, don't look now. We've been in a recession for 2 years, a customer service recession, right? And everyone in here is a customer service expert, not only because you're business leaders, but you're consumers. And you've been on the opposite end of this, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. And as leaders, we know that in a lot of our businesses, sales have been up, but service is down. Customer satisfaction, since the start of the pandemic, has been dropping like the Titanic. In the first quarter of 2022, it hit a 15-year low, okay? All industries. Why? Well, I know you know why. Employee burnout, low employee morale, high employee turnover, staff shortages, poor hiring, lack of service aptitude training, supply chain issues, and not managing customers' expectations, which has infuriated our customers, our guests, our clients, our tenants, our patients, whatever we may call them. So that's the bad news. The good news is you can turn this into the great retention. And I'm not going to talk at all, but 15 seconds here about the employee side, right? Because I know you had some of the crush it this morning on that. But I'm going to say something that is so easy to say, so hard to do. But if you write anything down, write this down. I have 4 businesses, and all I want is growth. So that's why I know how hard this is. But it is better to lose the sale than lose the reputation. Right? I'd rather turn you away because we're at full capacity, whatever full capacity may look like, than hire just anyone and you hate me, you're doing brand terrorism about me, and telling everyone you know. I have more of a that's hard. I know it's hard, but we really got to focus on that. And I had a leadership epiphany about a year ago. So I'm sure you've all heard this quote, and I'm sure most of you, or if not all, you love it. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, right? I've said that ad nauseum to all my employees at every orientation, to my 3 boys, hundreds and hundreds of times, okay? So who do we blame if the person you're hanging out with or the group is less than spectacular? We blame you, right? That person, our kid, ourselves, whoever. Well, here's my leadership epiphany. I realized our employees don't get to choose their average, their 5, right? If we're allowing them to work in a toxic environment with bad attitudes, our rock star employee, 1 or 2 things are going to happen. They're probably going to get the hell out of there because they don't like working with, B- C+ players. Or worse, they're going to gravitate to their average. That's on us. We have to protect and manage their top 5. Managing customer expectations is critical today, more than ever. In my 30-year career, I've never seen that every single industry, B2B, B2C, manufacturing, government, you name it, has the exact same 2 dynamics. Right? Staff shortages and supply chain issues. Every industry has it. But we have to manage expectations. We have to be totally transparent. Last year in the summer, me and my fiance go out to dinner, and it took forever. I mean, like, I don't know how long, but forever. The waitress, kept asking where the meal is. Finally, the last time I said, pack it up, we got to go. And I don't know if we had to go, or I was just making a point. Went home, never going back to that restaurant again. 2 months later, we go to a different restaurant. Ask if they got, table for two on the patio. They said yes. But the 18-year-old hostess says, I want to explain something to you. We're short-staffed in our kitchen, and we're not serving at times we normally do or that we like. I said, do you have wine? As long as you have wine, I don't care. Seats us. Every so often, the server came over, apologized. I said, it's okay. I felt bad for the server. I said, it's a beautiful night. We're having the best time. Finally get the meal, go home, loved our experience. Then it hit me. That was the exact same experience I had 2 weeks ago as far as time. But one managed my expectations where I felt bad for them and I was apologizing to them and saying it was okay, and the other one chose not to tell me, and I was insulted and infuriated. Be in the certainty business right now, internally and externally. And the new reality. Here's the new reality. This is something no leadership class training ever taught us. We have to be leading from a distance for those on our teams that are virtual. And we have to be worried about employee wellness and providing resources. And the final thing is, on this, is we have to do more with less. And what I mean with that is less staff. All right? As everyone in this room knows, the labor has shifted to different markets, different industries. And for the foreseeable future, right, retail, brick and mortar may not be getting all the staff back that they lost. So how do we do that? Use technology to perform basic tasks, enable employees to focus on what's most important. Building relationships that result in higher customer loyalty, retention, lifetime value, and job satisfaction. So, we do have to invest in artificial intelligence. And the best thing about the pandemic, and there's some good things, is it's pushing us into a space that some of us were reluctant to go, right? We need to have more of a percentage of everyone making online appointments on their apps, check-in. There's doctor offices and salons who can't get receptionists to work because now they have the option of working from home, answering the phones for an insurance company or wherever. So, but the receptionist can check you in if you need it and pull up there from her home, right? These are things, right? And ordering and booking online, checking in, placing your order. I believe the fastest growing thing in the restaurant business is going to be an app or an iPad at certain types of restaurants. So you just need runners, okay? Some may take it too far.
チェックインのお客様は1を押してください。チェックアウトのお客様。チェックアウトのお客様は右のタッチパネルのチェックアウトを押してください。
From delivery drones to automated cars, now there's robots you can have sex with. They're known as sex bots.
Sex is one of the most fascinating things in the world.
They look like us, talk like us, and they even move like us.
We don't have to see another human being as long as we live. Hey, I'm not judging, I'm not endorsing, I'm just reporting, okay? So, this is the most important slide you want. Up in the right-hand corner is, if you can take a picture of it, but that's how you get every slide here. So, and share it with your team. tdg.click/FRLA Summit. That's it. Every slide you see here is waiting for you. All right. Now I'm here to talk about how we create your signature experience with human to human, right? Even though those new realities are going to be a critical component, and we need to be prepared for it. So what is a customer service revolution? This is like my national anthem. It is a radical overthrow of conventional business mentality designed to transform what employees and customers experience. This shift produces a culture that permeates into people's personal lives at home and in the community, which in turn provides businesses with higher sales, morale, and brand loyalty, thus making price irrelevant. That's what we do. That's what I love to do. Make price irrelevant. Making price irrelevant doesn't mean you could double your prices and not lose existing or potential customers, okay? What making price irrelevant does mean is, based on the experience your brand consistently delivers, your customers should have no idea what your competition charges, right? Think about that. And some key components your brand consistently delivers. It can't be dependent on if you get Danette, right? It has to be on any touch point. Your customers have no idea what your competition charges. I'm price sensitive. I've been the idiot that's driven 3 extra miles to save 50 cents on something, not realizing I just lost in that exchange. But each of us have a few brands, personally and professionally, that we are so loyal to because of the peace of mind, the relationship, the brilliant comebacks, that I couldn't tell you how they rate compared to their competitors because I'm not out price checking them. My first business, as Fred said, I opened 30 years ago, salons and spas in the Cleveland area. I still own them, but I'm not involved in them anymore. But in Cleveland, it's not Miami, it's not New York, it's not Las Vegas. The average haircut for a woman is $32. In those markets, it's, hundreds, 200. Our least expensive haircut for someone who went through a year of training and went on the floor is $50 for a woman's haircut. And then we have a dozen or so that are $100 to $150, okay? And they're booked out 3 weeks to 3 months. Several years ago, a salon 4 doors down from us put this sign in their window. And my staff panicked, said, oh my God, we're going to go out of business. We got to start discounting, running. I said, no, we don't play those games. Let's focus on our experience. Let's be brilliant at the basics. Let's raise our game. And then we put this sign in our window. Yeah. Don't get sucked in someone else's game if it's not yours. Okay? We choose not to compete in price wars. We compete in experience wars because there's a lot less competition that don't know how to do it as well as us. Ask yourself, are you a coupon away, an incentive away from losing customers if you already got nothing, right? So, who's your ideal customer? Mine, for any of my business, is a Tesla driving, Lululemon wearing, Peloton riding, Starbucks drinking, Mac using customer. How do we get them? Well, these types of customers care less about price and more about finding an emotional affirmation, a compelling experience that makes them feel better about themselves, which creates an emotional connection to your brand. So, a lot of industries are still enjoying endemic spending, right? Where people who were locked up and had more discretionary income ever are finally getting out and doing what they weren't able to do. And that while that's great, this too shall pass. And how busy you will be in the next 6 to 18 months is dependent on the experience your customers are consistently receiving today. So here's what I want to share with you of working with the best customer service companies in all industry, the things they do that differentiate themselves. They constantly put themselves and their employees in the shoes of their customer, right? I mean, the disconnect is a lot of our customer-facing employees might be 18 to 25. We expect them to give a 5-star experience, yet they've never experienced it themselves. It's not fair. So we have to teach them what it's like. Also, a lot of customer-facing employees aren't the customers. They can't relate to they're not the age, demographic, economic. Kids parking cars at the Ritz-Carlton have never stayed at a Ritz-Carlton, right? So they can't relate to that. Doesn't mean we change who we hire, but we got to help. So the first place they start, is a day in the life of a customer. So in my salon, I got the same problem. I got 150 employees, and the majority of them are 30 and under, right? The horrible millennials and Zs. And by the way, I love that age group. I love that generation. I'm going to get to that in a little bit. They crush it if you tie their job to the purpose, and this is one of the ways you do it. So I got to get them. My biggest challenge in my salon business, in my consulting business, is getting my customers to understand what the person's going through. Instead of looking at them as, is my 3:30 here yet? My 8th appointment of the day, my 3rd last one, so I can get the hell out of here and be off for the weekend? They have to understand what is happening to that customer before they get to us. So this is what they have to watch. This is what the best customer service companies create for an internal training.
You're broken down and tired of living life on the merry-go-round, and you can't find a fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out. Move mountains, we gon' walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise like the day. I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, I like the waves. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. The silence isn't quiet, and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe. And I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet. Move mountains, bring it to its feet. Move mountains. And I'll rise like the day. I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again.
That's our customers that's coming today. Thank you. Right, and anybody recognize them? I'm sure it's some of your scenarios sitting here. It's definitely some of your customer scenarios. It's our coworker scenarios, employee scenarios. But we show that, and one of our clients that we've made it for started showing on the interview process. We were like, at orientation and ongoing, but it was really cool as an interview process to see how you reacted to it, and if you're kind of like blank and saying, all right, what else? Or this is why I want to work here. Like, this is what I've heard, I felt, all those. So it's to provide compassion and empathy. All right, so the second thing, right, create a day in the life of your customer, create a day in the life of coworkers, right? Each other, different departments, so they realize And they work together. The second thing is you want to create a customer experience action statement. Now, a lot of people are like, hold on, we got missions and purpose statements and core values. And if I ask my employees what our mission statement is, they won't know it. And they'll say half of it will be the mission, half will be the purpose statement, right? We're all like that. And again, I started 4 businesses. I love my mission statement. I love my purpose statements. But no one knows them verbatim. But if I want one thing for my employees to know, it's the customer experience action statement. Because a mission statement is who we want to be someday when we grow up, right? It's not actionable. A purpose statement is why. We want to change the world by creating a customer service revolution. Love that. But that's not actionable. The customer experience action statement is that. It's your North Star. It's what each and every employee should be doing intentionally every time they interact with another human being. Okay? And this is where I'm going to come back to. The currency for millennials and Zs is purpose. I like this generation because they forced us to wake up. We've been fat for the past 10 years, or 12 years with the economy, right? We've taken our eye off the ball. One of the benefits of the pandemic, it's made us refocused. They're not willing to trade hours for dollars, nor should they. And we have to tie their jobs and make sure they understand there's a career path if you choose, right? There's rags to riches story that someone started off in that position today as a partner. But everyone wants to be tied to something bigger than themselves. So that's what a customer experience action statement does. So some of the questions you could ask when building one is after coming in contact with you, how do you want your customers to feel emotionally, right? No excuses. How do you want your customers to describe that interaction that they just had with you? And what would it take for you to be the best moment in a customer's day? So I'm sure a lot of you have been in Walt Disney. Their guest experience action statements create one of those special memories in a person's life, right? So in the 90s, I studied at Disney University. And I got to go underground. In Magic Kingdom, there's a whole underground where customers punch in, punch out, take breaks. And as I'm touring it, about where that wall is, I see Snow White on break smoking a cigarette, complaining about her boyfriend. She's like, that idiot called me last. I'm like, oh my God, this is Snow White, right? A few moments later, she goes back inside, freshens herself up, punches back in, and she goes up these stairs, through these bushes, and she reappears on Magic Kingdom ground, and 15 little 5, 6, and 7-year-olds come charging at her. And she turns back into this beautiful angelic princess, posing for pictures, signing their pads. On break, downstairs in the parking lot, she was Susie Smith, that was about 22, that had a jerk for a boyfriend or a dwarf or whatever he was. My 6-year-old was there to see Snow White. That's exactly what she gave him. Why? Because Disney does such an incredible job of teaching their cast members the part that they play in this. They do such an incredible job of teaching their shuttle bus drivers and housekeeping. That's what a strong customer experience action statement does. We helped Starbucks create theirs about 10 years ago. And it went on the inside of their green apron, right? It's not to be put on your website. It's not to be told to anyone, but marketed internally. Ladies, Ritz-Carlton's, ladies and gentlemen, serving ladies and gentlemen. Chick-fil-A. Every guest is cared for, unlike anywhere else they go. Chewy's. Anyone a Chewy's fan? They are awesome. Exceeding expectations through every interaction. Apple, enriching customers' lives with technology products. If you remember my day in the life for our salon, it ended with our customer experience action statement. To be the best experience in our guest day, and the how is the 3 pillars: know more, connect more, and give more. And that gets mentioned every day in a pre-shift huddle. All right. Create a day in the life of the customers. Create a customer experience action statement. Now the next part, and this all ties together, the enemy of a great customer experience is inconsistency, right? The enemy of a great customer experience is inconsistency. We have to avoid employee roulette, location roulette, department roulette. What's that look like? When the level of experience your clients receive is dependent on which employee they encounter. That's the devil. We have to remove that. So, obviously hiring, training. We can't fast track anyone. And then you have to remove personal interpretations, okay? And that's what world-class customer service companies do. Majority of companies, when it gets to the soft skill training, I love asking people this. If you were to hire one of my sons today, how much training would you give him before he started interacting with your customers? Some people say 2 days, some people say 2 weeks, some people say 2 months. That's really not the answer I'm looking for. It's a second question. Okay, of the 40 hours, 400 hours, 4,000 hours, how much of it is technical, operational, procedures, and how much is soft skill? Building relationships, making a brilliant comeback, all those things. And usually it's like 98, 99% operational and less than 2% soft skill. And the soft skill is kind of like, see the sign in the back of our room where it says go above and beyond, we're customer centric? Yeah, do that. World-class customer service companies remove personal interpretation. If I tell 100 employees, especially 100 kids, 25 or younger, to go above and beyond, be customer-centric, deliver genuine hospitality, I will get 100 personal interpretations. You have to remove that. Teach them what yours means. So a good place is what we call the customer bill of rights, nevers and always, okay? Never, point, always, show, right? Now, even though a lot of us in this room are B2C, business to consumers, if you have multiple units, multiple locations, you're B2B because your headquarters is a business to business, right? Your customer is obviously your location. So how can you point over the phone or in an email saying that you can get that off our website, right? Or that's Sally, she's off until Tuesday, you're going to have to call. That's pointing versus sending the link or getting the answer done for them. Never say no. The always is not say yes. There's a lot of things we can't say yes to. Just focus on what you can do. The dreaded no problem. Right? No problem is a big problem for two reasons. One, it's two negative words. We won't use any negative words. But number two is if I say no problem to you, that means it's not inconvenient to me. And when I'm serving others, it's not about my convenience, it's about yours. So certainly my pleasure. Absolutely, I'd be happy to. You're welcome. Now, the Ritz-Carlton and Chick-fil-A will tell you they made a mistake when they rolled this out 20-some years ago by only giving their employees one option. And it started sounding my pleasure. It didn't sound like my pleasure. There's a half a dozen suitable, more professional options to give your employees. Cold transfer versus a warm transfer. Another big one is overshare. We love to overshare. A, we talk too much, right? We give them too much information. But B, a lot of times employees overshare because I want you to know it wasn't my fault. She didn't tell me you were here. She didn't tell me she sat at a table. She didn't give me your message. She never tells that. We don't need to overshare and tell our customers that. If we need to take someone out back and beat them, that's our business. No, I'm just kidding, right? Just take care of it. Trying to think of oversharing. So when we used to have a call center in our corporate offices for the salons, I'd be walking through there. I hear someone say, hold on, our computers are so slow. Really? You had to tell them that? Right? For $150, they're wondering why we can't get off DOS, right? And like, make small talk, book the appointment, then come and scream at me about something with technology. Or someone would call and say, hi, I heard Sandy's good. I'd like a haircut with Sandy. Does she have anything open next week? She's wide open. Take your pick. Oh, maybe I don't want Sandy, right? So it's really important to have specific examples to these. Never say, I don't know. Always say, let me find out. Otherwise, you're pointing. Never show frustration publicly. What I want is a bunch of ducks. Have you ever been on a plane where the pilot gets on the intercom and says, holy cow, we almost crashed? No, I don't want to know that. So unless we're about to crash, let's not tell our customers, right? A duck is one of the most graceful, beautiful things, gliding across the water, but no one knows or sees it is paddling like hell underneath. So if you or someone on your team, it's obvious when they've been, I was going to say overserved, but I don't mean that way, overbooked, right? Too many tables, whatever, and they're walking through the building like this, that's showing frustration publicly, right? I should know what your last call was like, your last customer was like, that you got a flat tire on the way to work. Never accept fine or okay. Fine or okay sucks. It means let me pay, get the hell out of here, and go tell 10 people why you weren't worth it, right? Push back. If it's not a superlative, find out why. Never make the customer wrong. I do not believe the customers are always right. Never make the customer wrong. Just make the situation right. Never forget you're on stage. This is a big one, right? Remember you're Snow White. So many of us, right, back to my hair salon example, the hairdressers will come in on their day off to cut their mother, best friend's hair, which is totally cool, but they'll dress like it's their day off, right? And the client, guests sitting in other chairs are like, man, you got some unprofessional, right? Or they'll talk about something they shouldn't be talking about. Or they'll come up to the front desk to wait for the receptionist, who's their best friend, to see what time she gets off so they can go meet for drinks, which is totally cool. But what happens is the receptionist has 3 people checking in, checking out. So the hairdresser who comes up to the front desk is polite, and so she's going to wait. So she pulls out her phone and starts. Now, what do you see? 2 receptionists, one working their tail off, the other one doing this. And our hairdresser is pretty sure there's a sign above her head that says, I don't work up here. Right? So we got to teach our employees all the ways that they're still on stage. And it's not just when we're communicating to the customer. Never criticize team members, competitors, or make excuses. Own it, even if it's not your fault. And some of my favorite always, introduce yourself by name. Use the customer's name 2 or more times. Say something positive. Deliver a compliment. Some people say, well, isn't it a little unauthentic? No. I'm teaching my employees and myself not to be transactional. There's something positive we get to say to everyone. Love that jacket, right? Love your glasses, right? We just have to look for it. Instead of next, slow down. Everyone here, everyone we come in contact with, spend an extra 10 minutes either last night or this morning before you go to work and said, honey, does this match? Right? And honey kind of rolls her eyes and yeah, it's fine. Right? Reward them with that choice. Nice shoes with that. Beat the greet. This hotel's really good at that. I agree. Right? And all this stuff. Beat the greet. Used to say beat the customers, but United took it literally. So I had to change it to beat the greet. No one should say hi to you first. No one should say thank you. I don't care if you're walking by the same employee 15 times that you work with. 15.5 means you come within 15 feet of anybody, you smile and nod. You come within 5 feet, you say something. I might be walking by Fred to get to the person, but good morning, welcome back. When me and my 3 boys, when we travel, we go on vacation, from the moment we get to the airport, a week, 2 weeks later, we come back, we play a game, beat the greet, we keep score. It's the only time it's okay to talk to strangers, okay? And what that means is as we're walking through the airport or at a resort, you have to say hi to people, okay? So if I see you walking towards me, I say hi. And I tell him I own him, he's mine. Which I get a point for saying hi to him first. My boys can't get a point for saying hi to him because I technically own him. However, they have to say hi first. Because if anyone says hi to us first, we lose 20. Okay? So I'll see someone by the pool, hey, blue shirt, mine, he's mine. But on the flip side, I'll walk out of an elevator or turn a corner and someone will say good morning, I'll be like, oh shit. And they don't know why I'm mad, right? Beat the greet. Smile is part of the uniform. We send people home for being out of uniform. We'll go up and say, you don't seem happy. I am. You are? Yeah. Tell your face. Your face has no idea, right? And a smile obviously can be seen, it can be heard on the phone. That's why we have mirrors next to our monitors and phone. It could be read in an email, right? Whenever Danette emails me, I could tell she's smiling, right? You could just feel that in an email. And I love this. There's not an interaction over the phone, face-to-face, in an email. Is there anything else I can do for you today, Mr. Jones? Making him or her feel like they're it. Even though I got 6 blinking lights, 3 people behind you, late for a meeting, just by wrapping that up. Genuine hospitality, what does that mean? Do you teach it? Do you remove personal interpretation? Hey, I want you to deliver genuine hospitality. Okay, some people might say a head nod is genuine hospitality. Someone else might think a hug is genuine hospitality. I train and believe it's the 5 E's. The 5 E's take less than 5 seconds to execute. Okay, the first 3 take 1 second to do simultaneously. Eye contact, enthusiastic greet, ear-to-ear smile, right? Jennifer, just did it. Eye contact, enthusiastic greet, ear-to-ear smile. Engage them, it's about them, not us, and educate. Every time I come in contact with your employee, I should walk, I don't care if it's the hostess, I don't care if it's the GM, I don't care who it is, support. I should leave that direction saying, damn, there's no one smarter at their job than that person, right? We got to make sure we're constantly. Eye contact, enthusiastic greet, ear-to-ear smile, engage and educate. So I gave you way too many, but the best companies come up with a short list of 8 to 10 nevers and 8 to 10 always that they can bet their pay on, that you could call us, go into any of our locations, corporate office, serving the operations. We would never do this, always do it this way. Now, we have something that can help you with the training. Anybody like jewelry out there? You're going to love this.
Introducing a revolutionary breakthrough in customer service training, the Zapper. No more grueling hours training and reinforcing. Now, even your newest employee will perform expected standards even when the boss isn't around. Simply create your non-negotiable standards list, program it into the discrete device, and snap around the employee's wrist. The Zapper is now set to send a correction alert when your standards are not followed. Think it's impossible to get employees to stop pointing? The Zapper makes it easy.
Of course, it's actually right around here. Ow! You okay? Yes, I can definitely show you. Right this way. Thank you. You're very welcome.
The Zapper saves you time, money, and embarrassment. Is the thought of your best customer going unnoticed keeping you up at night? With Zapper, you can rest easy.
Hello?
Department stores are having clearance sales, 40% off of everything.
Oh my goodness, that sounds great.
Some of them are having coupons on top of that.
Oh, hi,
Do you cringe when no problem is said in your company? Watch how Zapper alerts and corrects this problem phrase.
Completely agree. We're having a good quarter. Can you email me a copy? No problem. Certainly, Mike. It'd be my pleasure.
Now even your most obnoxious oversharers will get it.
How's your day going today?
It's good. I was up front for a while. You guys must be super busy.
No, we're not busy at all. I was just in the back getting my...
Zapper is also water resistant. The DiJulius Group is now responsible for repeat offenders' injuries caused by burn and learn setting. Order yours today and we'll send you not 1 but 2 Zappers for the price of 1. The Zapper!
What do you think? How many? How many? Is anyone in here from HR or legal? They're always a buzzkill with the Zapper, right? Okay, my most recent book is called The Relationship Economy, right? Building stronger customer connections in the digital age. And I have a YouTube that's on that, if you download the barcode, the link to all my videos are on that. And if you just go to, if you just Google or YouTube, Meet as Strangers, Leave as Friends, it's really the 9 minutes and 31 seconds. Watch it, show it to your employees, show it to your kids, okay? Because, and here's the high level summary, abridged summary, is there is no greater skill we can have work at every day than to build an instant rapport with others, okay? Whether it's a stranger, it's an acquaintance, it's a friend, it's a customer, coworker, you name it. The problem is that's not taught anywhere. It's not taught at home anymore. It's never been taught in school. The only place it's being taught are the best businesses. We have to realize, right, due to no fault of their own, that the people we're hiring, the older generation have the eroding people skills because of technology, and the younger generation, no fault of their own, are relationship disadvantaged, right? So we can't skip them. We got to teach them. So how do you teach them? First thing is make sure everyone realizes that everyone they come in contact with has a visible sign above their head that says, make me feel important, right? Stephen Covey said, people don't listen with the intent of understanding, they listen with the intent of replying. You agree? Scientists study the human brain, and they found that it takes the human brain a minimum of 0.6 seconds to formulate a response to something that's said to it. Then they studied hundreds, thousands of conversations and found the average gap between people talking was 0.2 seconds. How are we responding in 1/3 the time our brain will allow us? We're not listening. I had my answer ready minutes ago. I was just waiting for you to come up for air so I could tell you. So what should we do when we talk to others?
You shut your mouth when you're talking to me.
Or listen. The greatest gift we can give anyone is the gift of our attention. And it's hard today, right? In any of our positions, with technology and what's on our plate and just everything. Listen, when I get home from the airport, or back in the day when I worked at the office, right, or wherever I am, sometimes I'm not ready to give this gift to my family. I'll pull in the garage and I'm still wired from whatever happened. Delays, whatever. I'll sit in the garage in my car for another 10 minutes with the engine off, okay? Until I can walk in the door and give my family this gift. We got to do that. We got to do that before we engage the next customer, the next general manager, whoever that is. One of my favorite things is the term having insatiable curiosity, right? Where you just ask questions. You should have a 4-to-1 ratio of questions asked versus answered, right? We got to listen like we're wrong, right? Stop defending our ideas and explore new ones. Any Ted Lasso fans? Best show ever. Who hasn't watched it yet? Come on. It's 30-minute episodes. It'll take you, I think, one of the best clips from it.
Mate, what do I need to win?
2 triple 20s and a bullseye.
Good luck. Rupert, guys have underestimated me my entire life. And for years, I never understood why. It used to really bother me. But then one day, I was driving my little boy to school, and I saw this quote by Walt Whitman. It was painted on the wall there. It said, "Be curious, not judgmental." I like that. So I get back in my car, and I'm driving to work, and all of a sudden, it hits me. All them fellas that used to belittle me, not a single one of them were curious. They thought they had everything all figured out, and so they judged everything, and they judged everyone. And I realized that they're underestimating me. Who I was had nothing to do with it. Because if they were curious, they would ask questions. Questions like, have you played a lot of darts, Ted? Which I would have answered, yes, sir. Every Sunday afternoon at a sports bar with my father from age 10 until I was 16 when he passed away. Barbecue sauce. Good game, Ruben.
Ted Lasso! You got to go home and watch it. Love that show. Be curious, right? So how many people in here, by show of hands, feel that you're really good at building an instant rapport with someone you just met or haven't seen in a year since the last conference, right? Raise your hand, okay? And we're leaders, right? We better be. But I'm going to call bullshit, right? Here's why. You have to prove it to me. I have to prove it to myself. My employees have to prove it to me. My sons, if they should meet you and I see them talking to you, have to prove to me that they built a rapport. And just because we talked 15 minutes, right, out at the, line or breakfast or the happy hour last night doesn't mean, or 30 minutes, doesn't mean I built a rapport. I might have been talking about myself for 30 minutes, right? We're all genetically coded to be preoccupied with what's going on in our life. That's a hard urge to turn off. So how do we, that urge, right? Refuse that, resist that urge. Here's what you got to tell me. Here's what my employees have to tell me. Here's what my son, if I see them talking, have to tell me. They got to tell me 2 or more things of your Ford. If they learn 2 or more things of the other person's Ford, they not only built a relationship, they own the relationship. Because each and every one of us, our Ford is our hot buttons. It's what we geek out about. It's what we start talking fast about. Family, are they married? Do they have kids? How old are their kids? What activities are their kids into? Occupation, what do they do? What do they do for a living? How long have they been doing it? What's the company's name? What's their title? Recreation is a lot of people's hottest buttons. What people do with their free time, evenings, weekends, vacations, right? They're marathon runners. They teach yoga. They coach Little League and dreams. What's on their bucket list? What's their encore career performance they're working towards? Doesn't have to be like a stalker checklist. It comes up organically, right? Someone calling in to make an appointment. I don't want my person to say, Ford, family. But as you know, customers overshare. They say, I can't come in Wednesday because my daughter's soccer team made districts. Catch that. So when they come in on Friday, someone totally different says, how'd your daughter's soccer team do? This is what your employees should be able to talk about at the end of a workday.
David, Smith.
Nancy Andrews.
Yep. What are you up to these days?
I'm married. I've got 2 great kids. You want to see their pictures?
Yes. Wow.
How about you?
Married, no kids yet. Work for Southern Community Bank. Bunch of great customers. Want to see their pictures?
Sure.
This is Alice. She owns a shoe store. This is Kevin. He's saving to buy a house.
That's knowing people's Ford. That's having insatiable curiosity, right? That's dominating the relationship economy. Now, if you have a software, right, if it's a business model that affords you to have a CRM system, there's not a CRM system we haven't worked with that our clients haven't been able to add a Ford field to their CRM system so they can look that up, okay? So, here's our customer service manual. Fits in my pocket. All our clients, great companies have this little Credo card that has their customer experience action statement, the 3 pillars, the nevers and always. So, realize that in any economic, downturn or up, the best competitive advantage is a great customer experience, right? Create a day in the life of your customers. Create a customer experience action statement that's a North Star for your employees to deliver every time they interact with people. Create non-negotiable nevers and always, your customer bill of rights. And help people learn how to develop stronger relationships, personally and professionally. And the last thing I want to share, so every year I have a word. I don't know if anybody else does this. I have a word of the year. This year it's gratitude. Last year was curiosity. 3 years ago was encourage. So when I was writing my book, The Relationship Economy, I stumbled on a white paper on encourage. I've always liked the word encourage. There's a lot of great words that never stood out to me than a lot until I read the Greek translation for encourage is to make others strong. I don't know why I had epiphany there. Encourage. I looked at the word encourage, right? Encourage. To put courage in. And that just was my thing of that's what we have to do as leaders, right? As human beings, as fathers, husbands, parents, to just put so much courage in others that they feel that they can do anything, right? And whether it's your kids, whether it's your friends, whether it's your employees, temporarily or long term, they come back and say, I am here today, 10, 20, 30 years later, because of what you put inside me. You're the first person that ever believed in me before I even believed in myself. And I did it more because I didn't want to let you down, right? I love that. I love that. I don't know if I'm allowed. I guess it's my own rules if I can repeat a word a year, but that would be my word every year. I love the word encourage. And my first thought of the day to me is very important, right? People wake up, and a lot of times you wake up and hit snooze too many times and think, I don't want to get up. I don't want to go to work. So to me, it's very important. So at 6 a.m. every day, this pops up on my phone. Act as if today's the day you'll be remembered for how you treat others. Act as if today's the day you'll be remembered for how you treat others. I've asked people, I said, hey, last Friday you were at work, right? You don't know this, but we filmed you. We actually filmed you, from the moment you came out of the bathroom, at your kitchen with your family, on your ride to work, you stopped and got gas, and we're going to show everyone today. And obviously, no, I'm kidding, but they're like, no, not last Friday. Last Friday I was a little rude and this, and you had road rage on the way to work. Well, when would you like? All right, can we do it tomorrow? I'll be ready to. Okay. Well, we don't get to pick, right? We don't get to pick. So that's why this is important. Act as if today's the day you will be remembered for how you treat others. I want to second the thing said about the FRLA team. They are amazing. They, from a speaker standpoint, I do a lot of these. They made it easy. They are world class at customer service and everything, and bringing this whole group together. I want to thank you and thank all of you, and have an incredible rest of the week. Thank you.
Well, that was definitely worth waiting for. Please join me in giving him another round of applause for. And hopefully you got the link to what's going on. I also want to make sure that I acknowledge and thank Heartland as a sponsor for this great keynote and closing session. Sadly, our time together has come to an end, but the casino is still out there waiting for you. It looks like everyone voted hands down to come back here next year, so we know where we're going to be. And once again, thanks to all our sponsors, all the attendees, and the FRLA staff. You did an incredible job as always. Thank you, everyone. Have a great, safe travels home.